All right. Hey, how y'all doing? Back again, another episode of The It Factor. As always, I'm your host, Jeremy Robinson, and today we have someone special. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Deanna Dudley from the Deanna Dudley Agency. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing?
Yes, indeed. So with that, how are you doing mentally, physically, emotionally?
I can truthfully say that I'm doing well. I'm doing well. No major complaints. We all probably have the same complaints, but no one wants to hear them, right?
Hmm.
Mhm.
Definitely, definitely. I like that. I'm glad you're doing good. I see you. I know you need you some more AC in there, but it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. So with that, how was it attending college and also being stationed in Hawaii? Like how was that? How did you balance that? Let's start it off there.
Well, it was Hawaii. What do you expect? I mean, I was, land of aloha. And those were some good years of my life.
Mhm.
The weather was always warm, and so I enjoy warm weather. Not this warm. This is just way too hot. So always warm. Going to school was pretty, it was difficult because we had to, after a long day of exercising and taking care of your soldiers and everything. Now
Mhm.
you had to kind of take off your leadership hat and put on your student hat on, and take your statistics class and your pre-cal or calculus class or whatever. And that in and of itself was just hard. And then, do the homework, get back up and be a leader again. So uh, going through it, it was tough, but,
Mhm.
but I will say that when I look back now, I learned a lot of valuable lessons that carries me through even to this day. So I'm appreciative of the time that I
Gotcha.
had. Mhm.
That's amazing. I say, what led you to want to go to the military? Did you go straight out of high school, or how did that work out for you?
I did not go straight out of high school. I wanted to go to college, and there was really no funds, kind of like what a lot of us experience.
Definitely.
So yeah, and so it was struggle my way through it.
Mhm.
Wasn't gonna do anything crazy for it,
Right.
but well, I guess going to the military is kind of crazy for some people, but um but I went to the military, thought I was doing the great thing by raising my right hand and
Mhm.
you know defending our country. But that was the main reason. No money for fun, no funds for college.
Yeah.
So
Got you. I'm looking glad it paid off. Look at you now. That definitely did a great job. You finished school and now you had your own company. You big time out here.
yeah, big enough, not big time, big
That's
enough.
right, right, right. But with that being said, I would say, what is your it factor then? Why do you do what you do?
Oh man, one of my the biggest it factor for me is being able to put myself in a position and the agency in a position to be able to give back.
Hmm.
It sounds so cliche, but my desire, my dream is to be to the point where we're successful enough. And let me preface that by saying that we give now.
Hmm.
So that's not something that we're going to say, oh my gosh, let's get huge and then we're going to start giving. We give now as small as we are. And
Hmm.
so my desire, my dream is to increase that giving while we're growing.
Yeah.
And so we give to a specific organization. It's called the Nicholas House. You can look them up. They're here in Atlanta
Mhm.
and they help folks. I'm sure you're familiar with them, right?
Definitely. I donate books to them every year. Me and my
There you
soror.
go.
We definitely
Yeah,
know
yeah,
about them.
great organization. So, and then my other factor is that I really just want to travel, man. I just
Uh-huh.
want to get out of the US and get to places that I see on TV and experience it. That's one of my favorite things to do is to travel. So,
Got you. That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm glad you're giving back and you're able to travel and you have a great and wonderful business. So, with you having that, why wasn't insurance? What led you to insurance and then into your agency? Now, let's tell us a little bit about your agency.
well, currently the Deanna Dudley Agency is an insurance brokerage. We do things a little bit different. We do it in luxury, we do it in
Uh-huh.
style, we do it in class and in grace. But it didn't just start off there. I started off when I was a finance major,
Mhm.
and I used to work at John Hancock. I wanted to be, stockbroker and all that great stuff. And then, of course, a crash came, and I was like, well, maybe this is not what I really want to do.
Mm.
So typically, when someone is doing stocks, they'll also be licensed to sell insurance. So I kind of like the insurance side of it more. So I like the life insurance side and the health insurance side. So I left that, ended up going to work for a company called Humana, which is a great company,
Mhm.
and sold Medicare insurance for a long time. And then decided it was enough. And I took a hiatus for about 2 years to try to figure out what I wanted to do, traveled a little bit, hung out, did nothing, got in a little bit of trouble, not legally, but and then decided to open up an all-state agency. And so I did that for 3 years, ran that, owned it, did what I could, learned.
Mhm.
And then I figured, okay, I want to take this to the next level. And so I didn't want to be limited in the marketing and how I wanted it to look and how I wanted to operate. So I decided to sell that book. And then we opened up the Deanna Dudley Agency. Couldn't have done it without the help of Ms. Charlene Levy, who's our operations manager here.
Mhm.
She is the one who keeps everything just legit, compliant, and just running, right? And I also have my marketing director, Miss Alyssa Gordon here. She's awesome. She's the one that takes care of all of the the social media and everything marketing. And then we've got a couple of sales agents that come in and out. You know how that goes, right? But everyone's so wonderful. We hire great people. We have a great working environment, and we're excited and happy and see where all this can take us. It's the first luxury insurance agency here in Atlanta, and I
Mhm.
think the entire US. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, when you see your bio and everything, I was like, I never heard of luxury insurance. I was like, wait, let
Right.
me dig into this. Let me see what it's about. But like
Yeah.
just hearing from you and then just even reading your stuff and then going online, I just say I know great things are coming your way. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
And keep changing the narrative, because you stepping out in a place that we all need help in. I bought my home with my wife before we were married, and a lot of things that started to pop up was insurance. You have
Right.
your home insurance, you got a job, or whatever, but the other
Yeah.
insurance, life insurance, the different things that come
Right.
with that. Tell me something that people do that you would say that's a bad thing that when it comes to insurance or anything like that, if you know anything.
Wow. Yeah. One of the worst things you could do is allow your policy to lapse. That
Mm-hmm.
is the worst thing that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, of course, well, insurance is for the claims, right? That's the reason why we buy insurance, right? But two things: allowing your policy to lapse and frivolous claims, right? Allowing your policy to lapse, you never know when something bad's going to happen, right? We're in the business of something bad might happen. So
Yes,
something bad does happen. And if that policy's lapsed, then you don't have coverage. Second, if the policy's lapsed and you're trying to get that policy back going again, it's going to cost you more money,
definitely.
lots more money. Um, Carriers want to know that you can pay your premium each month, but I get it, especially during COVID, right? You had
Hmm.
folks having to decide whether they were going to feed their child or pay the
Definitely
insurance.
everything. Yeah.
And I would feed my child, right?
Right.
But at the same time, right? Yeah, that situation has to be handled. But in the long run, you know, um, feeding your child is the right choice. But in the long run, that lapse in insurance is going to cost more. And then,
Definitely.
of course, then there's a frivolous claims, right? Let's say that your deductible is $1,000 and you put a claim out and you really needed to just pay $200 to get that thing fixed. Now
Hmm.
you have a claim on your books that's going to sit there for a long time, causing you more money. So, yeah.
Thank you for that information. Because I always wonder. I know I always picking my financial guy brain. I be like, look at man, what's I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. So I'm definitely glad I can get that insider news from
Hmm.
him. So also, I would say, so who is Deanna Dudley outside of the army, outside of your career, outside of insurance? Who are you?
Oh man, I'm goofy.
Uh
I'm a goofy
huh.
one. Love to, crack jokes with my sister.
Hmm.
Love family gatherings, being silly. I'm originally from Panama, Central America.
Okay.
So putting on some salsa music and dancing in my mom's living room, that's like awesome to me. Otherwise, I'm at home chilling. Like I said, love to travel, love to eat.
Hmm.
Um, and always trying to figure out who I can help, who's I can help, whether it's time, uh, words of encouragement, love, laughter. And I do love to shop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I can see that.
Yeah. So that's who I am. But other than that, I'm just a goofy, caring, um, real humble. I know people say that all the time, but if you ask people around me, I think they will say the same thing. And I'm not just tooting my own horn, but yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. That's good. That's a good thing. I'm glad I was able to have you on my platform. So before we do close, I would say, what is something or some things you would like to see change in the world?
Ooh, oh, you trying to close a platform?
Hey,
On
hey.
this question, this is a long answer right here. Man, I would love to see, gosh, let me prioritize that real quick in my brain.
Hmm.
I would love to see racism end.
Yes.
I
Gotcha.
would love to see that. I would love to see that. I think that it just sucks. I,
It'd be a
I
beautiful
would I wouldn't change from being who I am, the color of
thing.
my skin,
Of course.
but I would love to see racism end.
Hmm.
I would love to see no child hungry. I would love to see fathers back in the home.
Definitely.
Definitely would love to see that.
Hmm.
So those are some things I would love to see change in the world.
That's dope. That's dope. Now, would you happen to have any questions for me?
Man, how long have you been doing this?
I have been, so I'm an engineer by trade. That's what I went to college for. Studying it. Well, I'm finished with school now, working to try to become a college professor so I can give back to the young and youth adults. But I also would say that I started this in 2019.
Okay.
Before that, I created a logo and all those good things, but I started with a prayer. I was like, hey, God, you get me through this class in computer science. I'm gonna do something to give back. And you don't know
Right.
what it looked like in college. And I think I got my job making good money. And I happened to have a friend which still does my editing now. And we had a conversation. He was like, bro, you love to network with people. You love to talk to people. He was like, why don't you just start a podcast? And
Yeah.
when I started it, I really was like, oh, I'm just going to talk to people in tech. Then I had a conversation with my mom, my family, different friends. They were just like, bro, athletes, doctors, lawyers, and then with the line
Right.
on. And I was like, why not interview these people, man, and get to know them and build a network with it. And it's just been positive just to hear y'all stories. It's very impactful and it really make me know that I'm doing the right thing. So definitely,
Okay.
definitely like doing it.
I like that. So I was going to ask you what you plan on, um, how do you plan on giving back using your podcast? But I kind of see what you're already doing.
So I would say I already have started giving back. So
Uh-huh.
give back from doing different seminars, different outreach to certain students. Also, I'm an avid author. I wrote my second book, The Art of Networking. After I seen that I was interviewing so many amazing people, so many people started reaching out like, "How did you interview so? How did you do this?" And I was like, "Let me write a book about it so I can tell my story and let them know that I was an average person, still see myself like that, put my pants on one leg at a time." But I love giving back to people and trying
Yeah.
to give what I have learned to try to broaden that gap for Black people. So definitely love doing that.
Yeah, I'm all about that as well. I love to see our people come together in
Mhm.
a positive way. I hate to see, black on black crime and all that. And
Definitely.
if that's another thing that we wish we could change, right? But it
Yes.
is what it is at this point.
Yeah, it is. It is. But we make a change. So that
Yeah.
matters. That does matter. And
Yeah.
also, I'm working on having a couple events so that when people like yourself, we can do this again in a bigger setting where we can get people to come in, probably pay to watch, but also not even just the pay thing. It's just the fact of just getting those conversations that's needed.
Yes.
A lot of
Very.
people need to know about insurance and why it's important and why it's also a luxury because it is something that you do need, down the
Yeah.
line. So definitely, and even now. So
Yeah.
definitely thank you for this network. And I look forward to reaching out to you. You need anything, let me know. Look, I'm a phone call, email away.
Well, I got to put in a plug for myself too, right?
Oh,
So
yeah,
if
yeah, yeah.
any
Plug your stuff
business,
in.
sure, any business owners looking, we are especially specialized in cyber liability insurance,
Mhm.
professional liability insurance, directors and officers insurance, just as much as we do general liability, workers' comp, all that business, surrounding your business, protecting that business, making sure that if anything happens, you don't lose that business because you didn't have the funds to pay for it. That's what we're all about. So if you're out there,
Uh-huh.
the Deanna Dudley Agency is here to assist you.
All right. All right. That's gonna be the snippet for the day, you know.
Yes, it
It's gonna
is.
come out, look, it's gonna come out in the following months, but I'm gonna drop this today on my story and have everything. But I look forward to talking to you. Thank you so much for reaching back out to me. Thank
Yeah. And I know anybody else, I will send them your way too.
you. Thank
Bye-bye.
you. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.